Welcome to my channel, writers. My name is Julie. I've written 2 books. I've published 2 books so far. When it was time to put it into a category, pick a genre, I couldn't figure out where it was. It was sci-fi, fantasy, horror. I took it to my writers group. I was part of a critique group of about 8 people at that point. And I asked them, where do you guys think it falls? And they said horror. And at first, it was kind of a shock. I expected to write something paranormal romance. And once I accepted that it was horror, it kind of all aligned and made sense. I don't think that you necessarily get to pick your genre. When I started writing a zombie book, I figured it would be more sci-fi, more paranormal romance, like I said, and it ended up being a lot more graphic, which puts it into horror. It was a lot darker than I thought, and looking back on it, it all makes sense because as a teenager, I was really into R.L. Stine's Fear Street series, and I was into a lot of nonfiction that had to do with serial killers because I wanted to be a profiler for the FBI. So when your book is complete and you have to put it in a genre, if it's nonfiction, it will probably be pretty obvious where it goes. So you can just look at the nonfiction categories and shove it into one of those. But if you're writing fiction, it gets a little blurry because the genres can bleed together. Your book can fall in more than one genre, and if, say, you are publishing it yourself on Amazon, then you get to pick 2 different genres to put it in. Let's take a look at what genres are available. Browse your favorite book retailer online. On Amazon, under books, you have your major categories, and then to find the minor categories you can list in. Go to literature and fiction, and then you have all these subcategories. Once you figure out what genre your story is, you want to make sure that you are hitting the word count in that genre. A perfect website that I love to use as a reference is The Right Life, and I will link the website below. In general, novels are 50 to 110,000. Then they break it down into fiction, children's books, and nonfiction. And you can take a look at these. This is a good guideline for the industry. If you're still confused where to put your book and into what genre, go to your local bookstore and give a browse. Browse through where you think that your book would be put on the bookshelf. Sometimes the problem with your project is the genre. I was working on the 3rd book for my series. And the first one, where I said it lies in horror and kind of blends with sci-fi and fantasy. The second one is primarily sci-fi and less horror. And when I went to start writing the 3rd one, I thought that I had to stay in the boundaries of the genre that I set for my series. But it didn't feel right. So I was having a hard time continuing to write the 3rd book until I started recording the video for this. Once I decided to give myself the freedom to write the 3rd book in any genre that it should fit in, the words started to flow freely. So if you're having a problem and you're stuck in your writing, then give yourself the freedom that it doesn't have to be in a certain genre. A lot of authors now are branching out and trying different genres. to see which one they enjoy most writing and to see which one sells the best. So my advice to you is to just write and forget about what the agents want, what the publishers want, what or where you think your book lies. And just forget all that. The only thing that matters is story. And you can shove it in any genre that you want. If you give yourself the leeway to write for the story instead of to the genre, you may surprise yourself. And you might end up writing in an entirely different genre than you thought you would. So my biggest tip to you, write the story that wants to be told, not the story that you want to force out of it. See, creativity cannot flourish in a confined box. The energy that it takes to write a book and go into the zone can only be accessed when you let conformity die. If you'd like to get together with some other writers and talk about writing tips, balancing your life with writing, all things publishing, on Mondays at 11:11 Pacific Standard Time, me and two of my writer friends get together at Tsunami Books in Eugene, Oregon, and broadcast live shows for our YouTube channel. And the link is either on this side or that side. I hope you found something useful. If there's something more that I can elaborate on, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I enjoyed doing this guest post. And congratulations to the Writing Pal on 1 year of blogging. That's amazing. Now, go write now.